There are a number of great summer bloomers for southern Nevada gardens. This is one of my favorites. This is Lagerstremia indica, the crepe myrtle. It's called crepe myrtle because its flowers are almost like crepe paper, sort of crinkly and soft. It's a plant from Eastern Asia, comes from China, Japan, Korea. So you wouldn't think it does well here in the desert, but it actually does really well in our heat. Flowers all summer long. Flowers can range from pink to white to red. Plants can range from 5 or 6 feet tall to other varieties that can be 20-foot trees. Has beautiful bark in the wintertime as well. Smooth, grayish white. Very ornamental in the wintertime, but with these spectacular flowers all summer long. A really great landscaping plant for the Las Vegas area. Another of my favorite plants for summer bloom here in Las Vegas is this Justicia spicidura. It's called Mexican honeysuckle. Comes from the tropics of the Americas, but does very well here in the desert. These bright orange flowers, tubular shape, are very attractive to hummingbirds. One of our foremost desert garden writers calls this plant too garish to ever use in a desert landscape. But personally, I really like it, and I think garish is never out of place here in Las Vegas. Looks beautiful in a clump like we have it planted here. Evergreen plant will maintain its leaves throughout the year, so it gives you good cover in the wintertime. Very attractive flowers in the summertime. Just a wonderful plant for here in the desert. Not quite as drought tolerant as some of our plants, but will do very well on our typical 3-day-a-week watering schedule. If you're interested in attracting wildlife to your garden, this is a great plant for summer gardening. This is an emu bush. Emu bushes come from Australia. This one is called Summertime Blues because of its beautiful blue flowers. There's a nursery in Phoenix called Mountain States Wholesale Nursery that has done a whole lot of work with emu bushes from Australia and introduced a number of new varieties, of which this is one of the best for summer blooms. It's very attractive to hummingbirds. Will attract them to your garden like very few other plants will. Evergreen, gives you great winter green color, but the blue flowers are all summer long and very drought tolerant because it comes from desert areas in Australia that are very similar to our climate. So a wonderful plant for attracting wildlife. Sunflowers are a great plant for the desert. They're annuals, so they grow from seed every year. But plant these seeds early in the spring and you'll get these 6-foot to 8-foot tall plants in just a couple of months with an abundance of flowers on them. And the flowers are great for wildlife. All kinds of birds and butterflies love them. Butterflies love the flowers, bees love the seeds. Most commercial varieties of sunflowers are bred to have one single large flower at the top. But the wild varieties have multiple flowers like these, which make them much better ornamental plants. They'll thrive and flower all summer long here in the valley, then die down in the winter with the first frost, but give you months and months of beautiful yellow flowers. Really cheerful in the landscape and a great attractant for wildlife. For me, one of the great joys of gardening is attracting beautiful butterflies to the garden. Not only having beautiful flowers, but attracting these beautiful, almost flying flowers into your garden makes it really special. And this is one of the very best plants to do that. This is a buddleia from China and East Asia. And it is so great at attracting butterflies that it is actually called the butterfly plant. This one is a white-flowered variety, but there are blue, purple, violet, nearly red flowers as well, and all of them are very attractive to butterflies. This plant will lose all of its leaves in the wintertime and not look like much, but in the summertime it'll be covered with these long clusters of flowers that are one of the greatest attractants of butterflies that we can grow around here. This is a plant that is very invasive in some parts of the country. In fact, you can't grow it in the Pacific Northwest because it sets its seeds so readily, but here in the desert it's so dry that it's never a problem for us. So it's a wonderful ornamental plant to grow that will give you beautiful flowers throughout the course of the summer. Butterfly bush and all the other plants we talked about today will be blooming all summer long here at the Springs Preserve. Don't let the heat keep you from coming out and enjoying what is still a beautiful garden all year long.